So let's continue our top 30 positional rankings for the upcoming college basketball season, and today we are ranking the power forward position, which is absolutely loaded next year. And as a reminder, these rankings are based on how I think each of these players will perform next season, and if you don't see someone that you think should be included, they might be in one of my other positional rankings videos, so make sure to go and check those out at the links in the description. But before we begin, if you enjoy the content, please consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel, as it helps us grow and is greatly appreciated. And now, let's jump into it. And like I said, the power forward position is loaded this year, and I wanted to start with some honorable mentions that just missed out on the rankings, and they are Elijah Saunders from Maryland, Trey White from Kansas, Donnie Freeman from Syracuse, Hans Steinbach from Washington, and Trevin Brazil from Arkansas. But coming in at number 30 is Tae Davis, who steps into Oklahoma with the chance to prove himself as one of the most versatile forwards in the Big 12. And at 6'9" and 215 pounds, he brings a strong blend of size, athleticism, and skill that made him a standout at Notre Dame last season. Davis averaged 15 points and 5 rebounds and nearly 2 assists per game, showcasing his ability to score in isolation, finish through contact, and consistently get to the free throw line. And his improvement as a decision maker helped him emerge as a reliable offensive option, and he even picked up votes for both the ACC's Most Improved Player and Defensive Player of the Year awards. Now at Oklahoma though, Davis is expected to take on even a bigger role with his ability to play multiple positions and attack mismatches, and if his perimeter shooting continues to grow, he becomes a matchup nightmare who can help anchor the Sooners front court. Coming in at number 29 is Alvaro Folgueiras, who transferred to Iowa after a breakout season at Robert Morris, where he averaged 14 points, 9 rebounds, and over 3 assists while earning Horizon League Player of the Year honors. And at 6'9", the Spanish forward brings a unique mix of skill and feel, operating as both a floor spacer and a playmaking hub. He shot an impressive 41% from 3 on solid volume, showing the ability to stretch defenses while also attacking closeouts with fluid drives, and his vision and passing instincts allowed him to connect plays and create scoring chances for his teammates, while his activity on the glass made him one of the league's most reliable rebounders. Defensively, his length and motor are bright spots as he consistently disrupted passing lanes and altered shots last season, and if he proves his game translates against high major athleticism, his shooting, versatility, and processing could help him thrive as a modern two-way forward. Coming in at number 28 is Devin McGlockton, who proved to be a steady force for Vanderbilt last season, averaging 10 points and 8 rebounds while starting all 33 games. McGlockton is 6'7" and 230 pounds and brings physicality and athleticism, and carved out a role as one of the SEC's most relentless rebounders, finishing 3rd in the league in total offensive boards last season. And his finishing ability around the rim stood out, ranking in the 91st percentile in scoring efficiency at the basket. On defense, his long arms and bounce allowed him to block shots, disrupt passing lanes, and anchor possessions despite playing out of position at center. The next step for McGlockton though is finding consistency as a shooter and refining his decision making to add more versatility on the perimeter. And if he continues to grow into a reliable threat from deep while maintaining his defensive edge and rebounding presence, he has the tools to evolve into a highly impactful two-way forward as he looks to play the power forward position this next season. Coming in at number 27 is Malik Reneau, who makes the move to Miami after 3 strong seasons at Indiana, where he averaged 13 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 2 assists on 55% shooting this past year. Reneau is 6'9", and he thrives with his back to the basket, using polished footwork, strength, and touch to score efficiently through contact. His ability to read double teams and create looks for teammates separates him from most interior bigs, as shown by his impressive assist rate during his time in the Big Ten. And while he's not necessarily a rim protector, his quickness and awareness allow him to defend multiple positions effectively. The biggest swing factor for him, though, is his development, his consistency as perimeter threat, and if he can stretch defenses with shooting and attack off closeouts while maintaining his rebounding and post scoring, Reneau has the skill set to take on a bigger role as a versatile forward who impacts games in multiple ways. Coming in at number 26 is Dillon Mitchell, who enters the season at St. John's as one of the most athletic frontcourt players in the country. Mitchell is 6'8" and thrives as a high-energy presence who runs the floor, finishes lobs, and crashes the glass with relentlessness. Last season at Cincinnati, he averaged 10 points and 7 rebounds while shooting an efficient 60% from the field, showing how effective he can be in finishing roles. And what makes him stand out is his defensive versatility, as he has the quickness to switch onto guards and the length to challenge shots at the rim, and the motor to make life difficult for opponents in multiple schemes. And while his shooting remains a weakness, his impact comes from constant activity, rebounding, and disruptive defense. And if Mitchell can develop more ball handling and stretch his scoring to the mid-range, he has the physical tools and two-way versatility to thrive as a dynamic forward threat next season. And coming in at number 25 is Zvonimir Ivisic, and Ivisic is one of the most unique big men in college basketball, bringing a rare blend of size, shooting, and rim protection to Illinois this season. At 7'2", he stretches the floor with deep shooting range, connecting on 37.5% of his threes last year at Arkansas, while also protecting the rim with over 65 blocks on the season. Offensively, he's more than just a catch-and-shoot option too, as he shows flashes of ball handling and create his own jumper in space, which makes him a matchup nightmare for slower defenders. Defensively, his length alters shots, but his rebounding consistency and awareness still need some refining. But if Ivisic can improve his decision-making and mobility, his combination of shooting, size, and passing touch gives him the potential to thrive in more of a perimeter-oriented role this season, where he can function like a dynamic wing who spaces the floor, attacks closeouts, and impacts both ends of the court. Coming in at number 24 is Creighton's Jackson McAndrew, who enters his sophomore season with plenty of momentum after a strong freshman year where he averaged nearly 8 points and 4.5 rebounds while setting a program freshman record with 69 made threes on the season. McAndrew is 6'10" with a 7'1" wingspan and brings elite floor spacing ability, shooting nearly 36% from beyond the arc while showing comfort both off the catch and on the move. His size allows him to rise over defenders, and his understanding of spacing makes him a natural fit in pick and pop actions. And while he is still a bit thin, he showed more toughness on the boards than expected and has room to grow defensively if he can add strength and improve his physicality on the inside. But with more diverse guard play around him this season, McAndrew's offensive role should expand, and his blend of shooting, length, and mobility gives him the tools to develop into a versatile forward who can space the floor and attack closeouts effectively for Creighton. Coming in at number 23 is Kasean Pryor, who brings a unique mix of athleticism, size, and versatility to Louisville's front court, and his impact was evident before an ACL injury cut his season short after just 7 games last season. He averaged 12 points and 6 rebounds per game in those 7 games though, and has shown the ability to stretch the floor in the past, but his defensive activity is what stands out, using his length to disrupt passing lanes and protect the rim with averages of over a block and a steal and a half per game. Pryor thrives as a rebounder also, ranking among the best nationally in defensive rebounding percentage during his time at South Florida a couple of seasons ago, and he provides lineup flexibility by slotting in multiple front court roles. And with improved health, his athleticism and mobility could allow him to transition into more of a wing forward role, where his ability to guard in space, hit open threes, and attack closeouts would elevate his game even further. Coming in at number 22 is Paulius Murauskas, who made an immediate impact at St. Mary's last season, stepping into a starting role and finishing with 12 points and nearly 8 rebounds per game, while leading the WCC in double-doubles with 13. Murauskas is 6'8", and he blends the strength of a forward with the fluidity of a wing, using his coordination and mobility to create mismatches on both ends of the floor. And he moves too well for bigger defenders to keep up, yet his size overwhelms smaller wings. Offensively, his shooting touch is a major strength, as his mechanics are clean, his release is high, and his free throw consistency signals even further growth from the perimeter. Defensively, he competes with toughness and rebounds at a high level, giving his team second chance opportunities and stability on the glass, and with continued improvement as a shooter and more confidence attacking off the dribble, his game could translate seamlessly into a wing forward role that stretches the floor and punishes mismatches. Coming in at number 21 is Mackenzie Mgbako, who arrives at Texas A&M with plenty of pedigree as a former McDonald's All-American and Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Through just 65 career games, he has already piled up nearly 800 points, showing the kind of offensive consistency that makes him such a dangerous weapon. And at 6'9", his size paired with elite shooting ability makes him a tough cover, and he's comfortable knocking down jumpers both off the catch and off the dribble. His improved touch around the rim has added balance to his game also, though he still tends to drift to the perimeter at times. Defensively, he has made steady progress with positioning and screen navigation, giving him enough presence to stay on the floor in key moments. And if he continues to mix his inside scoring with perimeter shooting while also expanding some of his playmaking duties, his game projects well to a wing forward role that stretches defenses and thrives in mismatches. And coming in at number 20 is Mouhamed Diabate, who transferred to Kentucky from Alabama and brings a relentless energy and versatility to the Wildcats frontcourt. Diabate is just 6'7", but he excelled as one of the SEC's top per-minute rebounders, thriving even against bigger lineups. And Diabate's defensive flexibility allows him to guard multiple positions, from perimeter wings to post players, while his high motor fuels constant hustle on both ends of the floor. Offensively, he thrives cutting to the rim, finishing off dump-offs, and scoring in transition, though his perimeter game and shooting remain areas for growth this summer. But coming off a solid year at Alabama where he averaged 7 points and 6 rebounds per game, Diabate's ability to defend, crash the boards, and score efficiently around the basket makes him an ideal matchup nightmare, and if he develops a reliable jumper, he can stretch his game into a versatile power forward role that pairs nicely with Kentucky's other frontcourt pieces. Coming in at number 19 is Auburn transfer Keyshawn, who is a versatile, multi-dimensional forward who brings scoring and physicality to the Tigers frontcourt. At 6'7" and 235 pounds, he dominated at UCF last season, averaging nearly 19 points, 7 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 1.5 steals per game while leading the Big 12 in scoring. Hall combines a fluid handle for his size with the strength to bully smaller defenders in the paint, creating mismatches at multiple levels, and he's a threat inside the arc, capable of finishing with either hand, and can stretch the floor, shooting 37% from the three-point line. While his offensive game is advanced, efficiency and decision-making remain areas to refine as he turned the ball over more than he assisted last season. Defensively though, his length and physical tools give him upside, though consistent engagement is needed. But Hall will be a key piece for the Tigers next season and has the ability to thrive in Bruce Pearl's offensive system. And coming in at number 18 is Michael Rataj, who is a 6'9" versatile forward that brings scoring, passing, and defensive impact to Baylor's frontcourt. Last season at Oregon State, he averaged 17 points and 7 rebounds per game while shooting 35% from 3, showcasing his ability to score at all 3 levels. And Rataj operates with a mix of drives, mid-range pull-ups, and push-shots around the rim, making him difficult to guard. His agility and strength allow him to exploit mismatches, attacking slower bigs and overpowering smaller defenders, while his instincts on defense make him a capable rim protector and help-side defender. He also contributes in transition, using his quickness to finish or create opportunities for his teammates, and with a balanced inside-outside scoring game and more weapons around him, Rataj has the opportunity to be one of the top power forwards in the Big 12 next season. Coming in at number 17 is Malik Dia, the 6'9", 250-pound power forward that helps anchor Ole Miss's frontcourt with his inside-outside skill set and versatility. Last season, he averaged nearly 11 points and 6 rebounds while shooting 35% from 3 and 47% overall, showing he can score in the paint and stretch the floor as a pick-and-pop threat if needed. Dia combines strength and agility to battle in the post, clean the glass, and defend multiple positions, while his nimble feet allow him to face up and drive effectively. He also exhibits solid passing vision for a big, moving the ball like a guard with a forward's body, and Dia's ability to pull opposing bigs out of the paint opens lanes for his teammates, and his finishing around the rim is polished. And Malik Dia will have a much larger role with Ole Miss next season and will look to use his size, versatility, and scoring ability to dominate in the SEC. Coming in at number 16 is Tyler Bilodeau out of UCLA. Bilodeau is 6'9", 230 pounds, whose scoring versatility makes him a key piece for the Bruins, and last season he led the team with 13.5 points per game and shot an impressive 40% from 3, showing he can stretch the floor also while thriving in the post. Bilodeau can face up defenders, knock down contested mid-range shots, and operate as a pick-and-pop option, giving UCLA flexibility in multiple lineups, and his physicality allows him to mix it up inside, grab boards, and finish through contact, while his fundamentals and basketball IQ make him a reliable offensive and defensive leader. Moving forward, Bilodeau's combination of size, shooting, and scoring instincts will help translate to more of a power forward role where he can create mismatches, attack closeouts, and space the floor when needed. And if he maintains his shooting efficiency and continues developing his perimeter game, he'll be a dynamic two-way threat next season. And coming in at number 15 is North Carolina freshman Caleb Wilson. Wilson is a 6'9" forward who has a 7-foot wingspan and whose defensive versatility and athleticism make him one of the Tar Heels' most intriguing newcomers. Last season, his elite length and mobility allowed him to guard multiple positions, protect the rim, and cover ground that few forwards can, making him a difference maker on the defensive end. Offensively, Wilson excels in transition, finishes lobs, crashes the offensive glass, and shows savvy as a secondary playmaker, though his half-court scoring is still developing. His ability to pass from the high post and find cutting teammates adds another dimension to UNC's offense next season, and with his combination of size, range, and coordination, Wilson's skill set allows him to switch onto guards, create mismatches, and space the floor while still contributing as a versatile defensive anchor, and if he continues refining his jumper and offensive reads, he'll be a two-way force next season. Coming in at number 14 is Braden Huff, the 6'10" forward whose size and skill make him a central piece for Gonzaga's front court. Last season, he averaged 11 points and 3.5 rebounds per game, showing efficiency with nearly 60% from the field, and Huff combines traditional post moves with somewhat of an ability to stretch the floor, though he's still developing his outside jumper, and his left-handed shot adds an extra layer of difficulty for defenders. His experience and versatility allow him to score in the paint, make plays from the high post, and even facilitate when needed, showing flashes of playmaking that complement Gonzaga's system well. Huff's combination of size, mobility, and skill allows him to slide into the power forward type role alongside Graham Ike, where he can exploit mismatches, space the floor when needed, and create scoring opportunities for others. And with continued development, Huff could be a reliable two-way threat and key scoring option for the Zags next season. Coming in at number 13 is Mark Mitchell, who has the tools to thrive as one of the most impactful forwards in the SEC this season. And standing 6'9" and weighing 230 pounds, he's a physical presence who scores through sheer force, whether it's backing defenders down, attacking off the drive, or finishing through contact. Last year at Missouri, he averaged 14 points while also adding in nearly 5 rebounds, and with totals of 64 assists, 32 steals, and 25 blocks on the season, showing how versatile his game can be. Mitchell was relentless at the rim, where nearly 60% of his tips came, and he converted a remarkable 80% from there. And what sets him apart is his ability to guard multiple positions with both strength and mobility, making him valuable in switching defenses. And if he continues drawing fouls at the elite rate he did a season ago and adds consistency to his developing jumper, he can anchor Missouri's attack while also setting the tone defensively. Coming in at number 12 is Bryce Hopkins, who enters the season as one of the biggest swing factors in college basketball, with his talent capable of changing the outlook for St. John's season. At 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan, he's a powerful forward who thrives attacking downhill and finishing through contact, while also showing flashes of touch on the perimeter. And back in the 2022-2023 season at Providence, he averaged over 15 points and nearly 9 rebounds, establishing himself as a nightly double-double threat. Injuries limited him to just 17 games over the past 2 years, but when he's healthy, his blend of strength, body control, and rebounding instincts make him a mismatched nightmare. And Hopkins also brings underrated playmaking, often creating opportunities for teammates out of post-ups or drives. And if his jumper becomes more consistent, especially from the three-point range, defenses will struggle to find a matchup that contains him, and that would make St. John's front court one of the toughest in all of the Big East. Coming in at number 11 is freshman Koa Pete, who arrives at Arizona with the frame, toughness, and polish of a veteran, even though he just turned 18 years old. At 6'8" and 235 pounds, he plays a bruising brand of basketball, thriving in the mid-post where his strength and footwork allow him to carve out space and score efficiently. A natural double-double threat, Pete uses his broad shoulders to dominate the glass and finishes with soft touch inside of 15 feet, often relying on his left hand to power through defenders. But beyond scoring, he's a smart passer who can operate in short roll actions, push the ball in transition, and read the floor with maturity beyond his age. Defensively, his length and instincts create disruptive plays, as shown by his ability to generate steals and blocks, and if his jumper becomes reliable beyond the arc, his inside-out versatility paired with the relentless physicality could make him one of the toughest matchups in the Big 12. And coming in at number 10 is UConn senior Alex Karaban, who is set up for a strong year, especially with the Huskies now featuring guards who can consistently create offense. Karaban is 6'8", and he thrives as a floor-spacing forward who moves smartly without the ball, cutting at the right times and punishing defenses with the shooting. Last season, he averaged 14 points and 5.5 rebounds, though his efficiency dipped during a cold stretch from 3. But with improved playmaking around him, Karaban should return closer to his career 38% mark from deep, making him one of the Big East's most reliable shooters. But beyond scoring, he brings steady team defense and high basketball IQ, often serving as the connective piece in UConn's system. And if he rediscovers his shooting rhythm like I think he will, and leans into his role as a versatile stretch 4, he can be the steady presence that fuels another deep run for the Huskies. Coming in at number 9 is Nick Martinelli, who returns to Northwestern as the centerpiece of their offense and the face of the program. Martinelli's coming off a season where he led the Big Ten in scoring with 20.5 points per game, while also adding in 6 rebounds, proving himself as one of the conference's toughest covers. His game is built on his versatility, as he is a reliable mid-range scorer with a signature jump hook, a strong finishing touch, and the ability to score off cuts or in isolation. And while he only hit around 33% from 3, his confidence from the perimeter has grown, giving defenses even more to account for when guarding him. And beyond scoring, Martinelli is a durable leader who logged heavy minutes, played through physical battles, and delivered in big moments, including 2 buzzer beaters last season. And with more offensive help around him this year, his efficiency can take a jump, allowing him to anchor Northwestern's attack even more effectively than he did last season. Coming in at number 8 is Joshua Jefferson, who established himself as one of the Big 12's most reliable forwards last season after transferring from St. Mary's and averaging 13 points, 7.5 rebounds, and finishing 3rd in the league in steals. Jefferson is 6'8" and 240 pounds, and he combines physical strength with mobility, making him a tough matchup on both ends of the floor. Offensively, he scores efficiently around the rim, converting nearly 70% of his attempts on cuts and in transition, while also showcasing strong vision by averaging over 3 assists per game. Defensively, Jefferson thrives with his instincts and quick hands, allowing him to guard multiple positions and disrupt passing lanes at a high rate. His relentless motor on the glass and ability to play through contact give Iowa State a consistent interior presence, and if his perimeter shooting develops further, his blend of strength, playmaking, and versatility could elevate him into one of the most complete forwards in the entire country. Coming in at number 7 is national champion Alex Condon, whose return to Florida gives the Gators one of the most dynamic frontcourt pieces in the SEC. This 6'11", 230-pound junior from Australia averaged 10.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 2 assists last season, earning all SEC honors while showcasing a rare mix of size, mobility, and versatility. He runs the floor with relentless energy, constantly creating opportunities in transition, while also displaying strong footwork and touch in the post. His shooting continues to progress, jumping to nearly 33% from 3 last year, which stretches defenses and adds another layer to his offensive game. But beyond scoring, Condon brings advanced passing instincts, often delivering no-look or bounce passes that ignite Florida's attack. Defensively, he has the agility to switch onto wings while still battling on the inside, and if he continues to sharpen his outside shot and limits his foul trouble, his non-stop motor and two-way presence can make him one of those impactful power forwards in the country. Coming in at number 6 is Joseph Tugler, who has already proven himself as one of the most disruptive defenders in the country, and Houston leans on him to anchor their suffocating defensive system. At 6'8" with a 7'5" wingspan, he absolutely erases space with his length and mobility, often switching onto guards with ease while still protecting the rim at an elite level. And last season, Houston posted an incredible 89.3 defensive rating when he was on the floor, highlighting just how valuable his presence was. Tugler thrives as a rebounder and lob finisher, running the floor hard and cleaning up plays around the rim. Offense remains his biggest area for growth, as he has yet to develop consistency outside of paint touches, but flashes of improved shooting could unlock another dimension in his game. And if he expands his scoring and continues wreaking havoc defensively, his two-way impact has the potential to make him one of the most feared forwards in all of college basketball. And coming in at number 5 is Deron Williams, who steps into NC State as the centerpiece for Will Wade's system, bringing a rare blend of size, versatility, and feel for the game. Deron Williams is 6'6" with a broad frame and thrives as a point forward operating in the mid-post, where he can back down defenders or create mismatches through inverted pick and rolls. His offensive package is built on efficiency, as he averaged 15 points and 5.5 rebounds last season at Texas Tech, while knocking down nearly 39% from 3 and 84% at the free throw line. Williams doesn't rely on his explosive athleticism, but his sharp decision-making and ability to impact multiple areas make him a constant factor. Defensively, he guards across positions, disrupts passing lanes, and rebounds with a force, while his passing instincts keep teammates involved as well. And if he expands his shot-making as a go-to scorer and continues improving as a defensive leader, he becomes one of the most complete forwards that we have. Coming in at number 4 is Trey Kaufman-Renn, who made one of the biggest leaps in the country last season, stepping into the starring role for Purdue and producing at an elite level. The 6'9", 230-pound forward averaged 20 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 2 assists on nearly 60% from shooting, earning All-American honors while proving to be one of the most efficient scorers in all of college basketball. His offensive game is built on exceptional touch in the paint, with floaters, hook shots, and crafty footwork making him nearly unguardable in one-on-one situations. And pair that with the chemistry he's developed alongside Braden Smith in pick-and-roll actions, and you have one of the toughest tandems in the nation. Kaufman-Renn also flashes perimeter ability, knocking down jumpers when defenses sag off of him, and for him to take the next step, greater consistency on the glass and more defensive versatility would elevate his impact even further and position him as the centerpiece of yet another deep Purdue run. Coming in at number 3 is Michigan transfer Yaxel Lindenberg, the 6'9" Swiss Army knife for the Wolverines, who is capable of impacting just about every facet of the game. Last season, he averaged 17.5 points, 11.5 rebounds, 4 assists, and nearly 2 steals and 2 blocks per game, while shooting 52% from the field and 36% from 3, and he just fills the stat sheet with ease. Lindenberg excels in transition, grabbing boards and igniting fast breaks, while also serving as a playmaking hub in half-court sets. His scoring is versatile. He can post up, face up, attack off the dribble, or operate in pick-and-roll actions, and his athleticism makes him a constant lob threat. Defensively, his length and motor and anticipation allow him to guard multiple positions, contest shots, and generate steals. And with a refined shooting and continued development as a facilitator, Lindenberg can dominate on both ends of the floor and anger Michigan's front court while creating mismatches and maximizing his team's offense and defensive efficiency next season. Coming in at number 2 is Cameron Boozer, who arrives at Duke as one of the most complete freshman forwards in the country and ready to make an immediate impact on both ends of the floor. Boozer is 6'9" and 250 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan, and he combines size, athleticism, and versatility, allowing him to score inside and out, facilitate offense, and protect the rim. Last season in high school, Boozer averaged 22 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1.5 blocks per game, earning back-to-back Mr. Basketball USA honors and leading his team to another national championship. His passing and ball handling make him a natural playmaker from the front court, while his rebounding and defensive instincts allow him to influence every possession. And with a smooth shooting touch from mid-range and beyond the arc, plus elite decision-making without the ball, Boozer projects to be a consistent double-double machine for Duke, and if he continues to refine his scoring in traffic, his two-way game positions him among the most impactful power forwards as a freshman in college basketball next season. And coming in at number 1 is JT Toppin, who is an absolute dominant force in the middle of the floor and known for his ability to punish defenders inside 10 feet, particularly with his lethal left-hand finishing. The reigning Big 12 Player of the Year led Texas Tech in scoring and rebounding last season, showcasing his versatility by playing both the 4 and 5 positions depending on matchups. Toppin's roll man game is elite. He sets strong screens, times his cuts perfectly, and has multiple counters in the post, making him a constant threat near the rim. And his 7'2" wingspan and athleticism give him defensive upside as a rim protector and rebounder, while his knack for positioning makes him a reliable offensive rebounder as well. Expanding his right-hand finishing and developing a consistent three-point shot will elevate him to that next tier from an interior powerhouse to a complete front-court star. But with these refinements, Toppin can dominate on both ends, anchoring Texas Tech's front court and creating mismatches all over the floor and be the best power forward in the country. And with that, let me know in the comments what you think of my rankings of the top power forwards in college basketball for next season. Also, make sure to check out my other college basketball positional rankings videos. The links are in the description for those. And as always, if you enjoyed the content, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.